Hi everybody, welcome to yet another episode of HSP TV. Today is already the 12th episode and today I want to talk to you about NIFAO and communication. And what that means and what it is, I will explain to you in depth in this episode. If you have any questions during this episode, please feel free to ask them to me because I'd love to hear from you and I'd love to hear your questions and I will do my utmost best to answer them. If you have any other questions or any other topics that you would like to talk about, you can also let me know. And if you're just watching and joining in for this interview, for this episode, then please just wave at me or tell me your name and I'll give you a shout out because I would love to know who's on here today. And I also love to interact with the people that are watching. So today's episode, NIFAO and communication. What is it? Well, NIFAO stands for no interpreting for an other. So it means that you should not fill in for others what they think. And this is something that is a huge pitfall for most highly sensitive people because we are very empathic and we feel so much. So usually we feel if somebody is telling the truth, yes or no, or we feel if somebody is in a bad place or with bad intentions, and we base those feelings also on what we see. So if we see somebody who doesn't look happy, then we immediately think they should be unhappy or maybe even are angry or sad. And it's a downfall, a pitfall, because usually we are right, but we are not always right. Hi Irma, nice of you to join, thank you. I will give you an example. I was at a party that one of my friends threw about 2 weeks ago, I think, and I was with a couple of my other friends, and at the party there was this girl, and this girl, she looked to be really cranky, maybe angry, and my friends didn't want to talk to her because they thought she was in a bad energy and in a bad mood, and well, they went around her in a circle and they didn't talk to her because they had filled in for her, they had interpreted her look to be angry or cranky or negative. And hey Frankie, nice of you to join. Ciao Frankie. And I went up to her, I talked to her and I struck up a conversation, and during that conversation she told me that her mother had just died and that she was feeling very sad and very lonely. And of course everybody can relate, when your mother dies it's a very sad experience and you don't like it, and of course you're sad. And she told me she went to the party because she wanted to take her mind off things. She wanted to talk with other people, feel less lonely, not be sad all the time, and maybe even laugh a little, just be out of the emotion she was already feeling. But she noticed when she was at the party that everybody went around her and that nobody really talked with her, and instead of feeling better she felt worse. She felt even more alone and she felt even more sad because nobody would talk with her. So if you see somebody and they look cranky or angry and you immediately think that they are in a bad mood and you don't want to talk with them and go around them instead of talking with them, you can feel it wrong. It doesn't have to be that that person is actually angry. In this case, she was really sad and she was really lonely and she was dying for people to talk with her. And that is a pitfall for us HSPs because usually we feel so much and usually we're also right. And my message to you is that it's not always right what you're feeling, and to, even though you think you know what the other is thinking, even though you think you know what the other is feeling, to always check, to always ask, to always find out if you are correct, especially when you weigh consequences on how they are feeling. And this is something that we don't do enough. I had like a similar experience. I think this week actually, I had messaged a friend a couple of weeks ago, and it was about a topic near to my heart, and I really wanted that person to respond to my message. And I think that's one of the things I don't like about WhatsApp. You now have the two blue V's, and then you can see that somebody has read your message. So I saw that my friend had read my message, but I didn't get a response. And in the beginning I was like, okay, maybe they're busy, maybe it'll come later. And I tried to be patient, and I just tried to wait it to see if they would respond to my message, because it was something dear to me and near to my heart, and I needed that response, but it didn't come. Hi Freddie, nice of you to join today. And a week went by and still no response to my message, and 2 weeks went by and still no response to my message. And then at that moment it's very easy to feel like you're being ignored, that people don't want to talk to you, that they are purposely not responding to your message. And then we as HSPs, we always think that we did something wrong. So you can get thoughts like, maybe I said something wrong, maybe I was too direct, maybe they don't like me anymore. All those maybes, and you feel insecure. And if you react from that insecurity, then usually no good thing comes of it. So I decided to give it more time and to not be swallowed up by those emotions. But another week went by and another week went by, and we were already a month further than the message I sent, and it was not feeling okay for me, and I was fighting those feelings of being ignored or being not good enough, or all the doubts I had about why I didn't get a response. And I decided to check if there was something going on. So that's basically what I sent. Is something going on? Because you haven't responded to my message in 1.5 months, and I just want